going downhill from there, and if you don't like that one, you know where the fucking exits are, so. So have a good 2018 so far? Yeah, woo! No, fuck yous. Mine hasn't been that good. I was in surgery recently. Thank you for the fake sympathy. I was having a mole removed from my back in a procedure that classifies as day surgery, because it doesn't matter. And you might be wondering, what's the difference between day surgery and normal surgery? Well, day surgery is much shorter in winter. I did say it will get worse. I was having that procedure done and I learned something new that day. It turns out that my mum is a much better comedian than me, which is a little bit awkward. Because as I was paying for the surgery, she swept in with a sort of classic Irish mammy pre-prepared comment. You know the ones. I'm handing over the money, she swoops in and goes, "Geez, Andrew, €200 for that surgery. I know loads of people who'd happily put a knife in your back for free." Epically harsh from my own mother. Well, this is the thing about Irish parenting. It's basically child abuse. Like, I'll give you another example. You were the one who kicked him, right? So you're the violent one. Okay, so let me get something clear. At the start of the story, I come across as the bad guy. Okay? By the end of it, you'll see I'm not, so don't attack me. You just have to come with me on the journey. We cool? Okay, cool. I recently kicked a small child in the back of the head. He approves of that. He's a psychopath. So yeah, I was on a Dublin bus, which are double-decker, and I was on the step above this kid who was going down the stairs, and I didn't stick my finger in his ass, because that's weird. No, he was on the step in front of me, as is his right, and I was above him. And I had my foot sort of pre-raised to go down the next step, because I'm efficient like that. And the kid's there. And then for some reason the bus driver slammed on the accelerator. And my foot sort of carries into this little fucker's head. And I'm gonna say I kicked him, like I followed through, you know? Like I put spin on it and everything. It was a great shot. No, fair enough, the child then bursts into tears, which, you know, he's been attacked by a stranger, we can allow it. And then his mum turns around to him, because she's on the step below, and she turns to her now bawling child and just goes, "You feckin' deserve that!" What the hell? Told you I was the good guy. We're good. No, my mum, she doesn't mind that I do this as a hobby, because otherwise she'd kick me. No, she doesn't mind that I do this because I have a real job as well. I teach. Are there any teachers in tonight? One. It is a school night, that's fair enough. But what do you teach?
I teach writing.
Writing. So a basic skill. That's not really teaching, is it? It's close enough. Creative or?
Mostly just that boring stuff you have to take.
You teach writing in college. How dumb are these kids? I've got this far. I don't know how. What now? I've heard of this writing before. No. I teach history, which does need writing, so thank you. But one whoop for his history. Woo. I teach history, which it's an interesting subject because you can always tell a lot about a country by their history. There's no Germans here, so I can get away with this joke. But, oh, hello. I'm gonna skip you. It just feels like the right thing to do, you know? No, Americans are a great example of this, though, the whole exaggeration thing, because they like to exaggerate a lot. They like to blow things out of proportion, right? Like other countries. But there's an event in American history that really epitomizes this exaggeration. It's called the Boston Massacre. That sounds like quite a big deal, doesn't it, Dave? Boston Massacre. Any of the Americans here from Boston? Alright, cool, you. How many people were killed in the Boston Massacre? A lot of people. Classic American exaggeration. The correct answer is 6.
Basically a snowball fight.
It was a snowball fight. People were killed, man. Come on. Be cool. So 6 people were killed in the Boston Massacre. let's put that in a bit of perspective. The Irish, at a period of 30 years, where over 50,000 people were killed, wounded, and made homeless. We call that the Troubles. I think as a nation we can sort of say, get over yourselves. To the Americans. To be honest, I'm just a bit jealous because Irish history isn't the best, to be honest, because we suffer from having the worst next door neighbour of all time. Great Britain. There are obviously English people here tonight because they never know when to fucking leave. Sorry, mate. Yeah, very sorry to you. Comedian found dead with broken leg. Well, this is the thing, we're just not a sexy country though. We don't have sexy, we're not like France. France is a sexy country. Are there French people in tonight? No. Okay, fantastic. No. France is, just look at the things they sell. Like, you know, baguettes, the sexiest of all breads. Lingerie, the sexiest of all clothing. And L'Oreal. I don't know what the Irish version of L'Oreal is. Probably O'Reilly. And no Irish person's ever looked at themselves in the mirror in the morning and gone, yes, I'm worth it. I'm grand from a distance, lad. No, but none of this worth it, shite. Fucking nonsense. Sorry about the jab at the English earlier. I'm just a little bit bitter because, what, did you watch The Royal Wedding? Because I have to. You watched it. What did you think of it? It was good. Great review. Moving on. 3 stars. No, I was forced to watch it, and now my girlfriend has entered this wonderful phase of loving the idea of being married. Not to me, just being married. So, because of this now, I've been subjected to a brand new form of television. Now, this is mainly aimed at the American ladies, but anyone else can chime in as well. Have you seen a program called Say Yes to the Dress? Oh, Christ. Have you seen it? You have, and he's nodding with the experience of a man who has. Have you seen it, sir? Has everyone seen it? Legman. Of course Legman hasn't. Okay. And I'm going to break it down for you, my psychotic friend. It's very simple. They take a woman, they bring her into a parlour that looks like the inside of a wedding cake. It's spectacular. They have her try on loads of dresses. And she stands there in front of her family and her friends. She says, I'm saying yes to this dress. That's the entire show. I've seen 5 seasons of this shit. It's not getting any better. In fact, we've run out of the normal Say Yes to the Dress and we switched to Say Yes to the Dress Alabama. Which is the exact same, except instead of standing up there in front of her mother, her father, and, you know, her sisters, she stands up there in front of her mother, her father, and her brother, who's also the groom. Sorry. So I'm bitter about being married, but which I'm not. The prospect of it terrifies me, though. I don't want little versions, like running, like tiny little irritating versions of my girlfriend. Like, no. Fuck that. Oh god. But so in Catholic Ireland, a lot of people are actively encouraged to get married. And what I find quite weird about the whole situation is people like to use religion to justify hatred and also love. And religion's a weird one like that. Like I saw a woman during the Gay Pride Parade in Dublin, and she was holding a sign saying, God burns gay people. Now, first of all, fuck you, ma'am. That's awful. Did get me thinking, though, if God did burn a gay person, is it wrong to call that an LGBTQ? It's not homophobia, it's wordplay. Relax. No. So she was using religion to justify hate. What people don't realise, like I talked about the trolls earlier, massive religious conflicts, what people don't realise is most religions are pretty much the exact same thing. So what I'm going to do for you this evening, in my capacity as a teacher, is we're going to break them all down and we'll see that they're all the same. And hopefully by the end of this you can walk out knowing something new, which is very exciting, so pay attention, class. In the beginning, you have Judaism. Judaism came first, it's the original, all the other religions stem from Judaism. Judaism is Coca-Cola. Bear with me. Then along comes Jesus, and Jesus, as we all know, was diabetic. So, he needed a sugar-free version of Judaism. So he took most of the original ingredients, and he called that the Old Testament. Then he added new stuff to it, like the Gospels and aspartame. And he created Diet Coke. Or Christianity. And then you've got your spin-offs from Christianity. You've got Catholicism, which is Coke Zero. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 tolerance. Thank you. And then you've got Protestantism, which is Coke Life. People know it's different, but nobody knows why. You may be wondering where Islam fits onto this. Well, Islam is Pepsi. Very similar to Coke. A lot of people can't even tell the difference. But then you've got those Pepsi Max extremists who take things way too far. And we'll leave it there. I myself, I was raised on a diet of Coke Zero by my parents. I was raised Catholic. I didn't take it very seriously, to be honest. Still don't. But there was one day where we kind of had to. We had a religious experience. I know. So, Easter Saturday. Holiest night of the year. And the priest, to his credit, he's fucking killing it. Like, he's baptizing people left, right and centre. It's incredible stuff. And there comes a part of the Mass where he holds up the giant wafer and it turns into the body of Christ. Okay, we're all on board. Cool. Coming up to this part of the Mass, the priest, ready to go, raises the wafer. Altar blaze ring. And then Jesus spoke to us. Because one of the altar boys' phones went off. Now his ringtone was a song called I'm Sexy and I Know It by LMFAO. Specifically, the line where it says, ooh, look at that body. So we can take a couple of things from this. One, my priest is really good. And 2, Jesus is a vain bastard. God, I look so good up there. I'm wafer thin. Oh, that CrossFit's really paying off, right guys? That's my favourite joke, fuck yourselves. It's only wordplay. Oh, that's the best excuse in the world. I broke his leg, it was only wordplay. Oh god. You guys are an absolutely lovely audience. I'm going to tell a story of the worst audience I've ever seen or been a part of. It was at a production of the play Peter Pan. Are you familiar with Peter Pan? Okay, cool. It's a story of 2 radical extremists who kidnap children and force them to follow their ideology. If you think about it, yeah. So, and there comes a part in this play where Tinkerbell starts to die. This is sad. Aw, for Tinkerbell. I know. And Peter Pan's standing over Tinkerbell trying to wake her up. And then he turns to the audience and he says, ladies and gentlemen, Tinkerbell's dying. Please clap if you believe in fairies. And as one, together, 3,000 people, let that bitch die. Nobody clapped. It was beautiful. But on that night, I got my karma because I was mugged that night. The guy came up to me and he opened with an amazing line. If ever you get mugged, start with this. Or if you're mugging someone, actually, start with this. Good morning. Have you ever been stabbed before? No, I have not. Would you like to be? No. Give me a $5. I'm being mugged by the most unambitious mugger of all time. This is great. So, I'm reaching into my wallet ready to give him the $5, and then I stop. I think, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to give this guy a $5. Why should I? My mum knows loads of people who'd happily put a knife in my back for free. I'm not giving him shit. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.